The fluorescent lights hummed, their usual monotonous tune as Maria pushed her cleaning cart down the marble hallway of Sterling Tech's executive floor. At 11 p.m., the building belonged to her, or so she thought. She had worked as a janitor for 3 years. Invisible to most who passed her during the day. Her hands, rough from years of scrubbing floors and wiping down desks, told stories no one bothered to ask about. The uniform hung loose on her small frame, and her graying hair was always pulled back in a practical bun. She was 53, far from the life she'd once imagined for herself. Yet, she cleaned these offices with the same dignity she'd approach any other task. Tonight was different. As Maria rounded the corner to the CEO's office, she froze. The light was still on. Through the glass walls, she could see him. Alexander Sterling himself, hunched over his desk, tie loosened, looking more human than the photographs in the lobby ever showed. She began to back away quietly, but the squeak of her cartwheel betrayed her. "Wait." His voice carried through the silence. Not harsh, just tired. "Come in, please." Maria's heart hammered. In 3 years, she'd never spoken directly to him. She'd heard the stories. Ruthless businessman, self-made billionaire, the man who built a tech empire from his college dorm room. At 38, he was worth more than she could fathom. Yet here he sat at midnight, looking somehow lost. "I'm sorry, Mr. Sterling. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back." "No, it's fine." He rubbed his eyes, and Maria noticed the chess set on his desk, an exquisite wooden board with hand-carved pieces. One side was arranged in a complex position. The other side was empty, waiting. "Do you play?" The question caught her completely off guard. "Chess? Yes, actually I do." Something shifted in his expression. "Really? Would you?" He paused as if the request itself was absurd. "Would you play a game with me?" Maria glanced at her cart, her bucket of cleaning supplies, her uniform that marked her place in his world. "Mr. Sterling, I should really finish. Please." The vulnerability in that single word stopped her. "I've been staring at this board for 2 hours. My mind won't stop racing, and I need to think about something else." "Anything else?" She studied his face, saw the exhaustion that ran deeper than one sleepless night. Slowly, she nodded and sat down across from him, feeling the expensive leather chair embraced her in a way nothing in her apartment ever had. "I should warn you," Alexander said, setting up the pieces. "I was state champion in high school." Maria's lips curved slightly. "And I should warn you, I learned from my father. He was a grandmaster in Argentina before we came here." His eyebrows shot up. For the next hour, the CEO and the janitor played chess. But it wasn't just chess. It was a conversation in moves, in strategy, in the silent language of the board. Alexander played aggressively, brilliantly, but Maria matched him move for move. Her fingers, so used to holding mops and rags, handled the elegant pieces with surprising grace. "You're incredible," Alexander said after she executed a devastating knightfork. "Where did you learn to play like this?" "My father taught me when I was 6. In Buenos Aires, we didn't have much, but we had chess. Every evening in the plaza, old men would gather with their boards. Papa said chess was the great equalizer. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor. On those 64 squares, only your mind mattered." "Why?" Alexander hesitated, then asked the question that had been building. "Why are you working as a janitor with a mind like this?" Maria's expression clouded. "Life doesn't always go as planned. Mr. Sterling, Papa got sick 6 months after we arrived in America. I was 17. My mother worked 2 jobs, but it wasn't enough. I started cleaning offices at night to help pay for his treatments. I kept telling myself it was temporary, that I'd go to college eventually, pursue engineering like I dreamed." She moved her bishop, putting him in check. "But Papa died and Mama needed help. Then I met my husband, had my son. Time just passed. Dreams became memories." Alexander sat back, the check on the board forgotten. "Your son, how old is he?" 22. He just graduated from State University last spring. Engineering degree. Her face transformed when she spoke of him. Pride radiating from every word. "He's everything I wanted to be. Does he know how brilliant his mother is? He knows I love him. That's what matters." They played in silence for a few more moves. Alexander's mind was reeling. 3 years. This woman had been in his building for 3 years, and he'd never noticed her. Never wondered about her story. How many others had he overlooked? Checkmate, Maria said softly, almost apologetically. Alexander stared at the board. She was right. In their intense game, he'd been so focused on his attack that he'd missed her quiet defensive buildup. It was elegant, beautiful, a reflection of the woman herself. That was. He shook his head in wonder. That was the best game I've played in years. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Sterling. I should get back to work now. She stood smoothing her uniform. Wait, Maria, your name is Maria, right? She nodded, surprised he knew. What if I told you I didn't want you to go back to cleaning? Her expression became guarded. Mr. Sterling, I need this job. I have bills. No, I'm not firing you. He ran his hand through his hair, an idea forming that felt simultaneously crazy and absolutely right. Maria, 2 floors down, we have a strategy department. They analyze competition, market trends, plan our moves in the industry. It's chess, really on a corporate level. I have an opening for an analyst position. Maria's eyes widened. Mr. Sterling, I don't have a degree. I don't have any qualifications. You have a mind that just beat me at chess. You have discipline. 3 years of showing up every night doing work that most people wouldn't notice. You have humility and perspective that my MBA graduates lack. He leaned forward. I'm not offering charity. I'm offering you a chance. We'd start you as a junior analyst with training. The pay is $65,000 a year, triple what you make now. Tears welled in Maria's eyes. Why? Why would you do this? Alexander thought about his own story. The single mother who'd worked herself to exhaustion to put him through school. The teacher who'd believed in him when no one else did. The small acts of kindness that had changed his trajectory because someone should have done it years ago. Because I've spent so long building this company that I forgot to see the people in it. Because you reminded me tonight that genius doesn't always come in the package we expect. I don't know what to say. Say you'll think about it. Come to my office tomorrow during business hours and we'll talk details. Maria wiped her eyes, nodded, and walked back to her cleaning cart. But everything had changed. The next morning, word spread through Sterling Tech like wildfire. The CEO had offered a janitor a corporate position. Some whispered about favoritism, about PR stunts. Others watched, curious. Maria took the job. She struggled at first, the corporate language, the computer systems, the meetings. But her analytical mind adapted quickly. Alexander made sure she had support, a mentor, resources. Within 6 months, she was contributing insights that saved the company millions. Within a year, she was leading her own team. But the real transformation wasn't Maria's career. Alexander had started a program called Unseen Potential, an initiative to identify talented employees in overlooked positions throughout the company. Janitors, cafeteria workers, security guards, anyone could nominate themselves or be nominated for training and advancement opportunities. 3 years later, Sterling Tech had promoted 47 people through the program. The story had made national news. Other companies started similar initiatives. The ripple effect of one chess game, one moment of genuine human connection, had changed hundreds of lives. On the anniversary of that first game, Alexander and Maria sat in his office again, the same chess set between them. She was now director of strategic innovation, and her son had joined the company as a junior engineer. You know what I learned that night? Alexander asked as they set up the pieces. What's that? That we're all so focused on racing forward, we forget to look around. We miss the extraordinary people living ordinary lives right beside us. You didn't need me to rescue you, Maria. You just needed someone to see you. Maria smiled, moving her first pawn. And you needed someone to remind you why you built this company in the first place. Not just to make money, but to make things and lives better. As they played, the late afternoon sun streamed through the windows, casting long shadows across the board. 2 players, once separated by every social construct imaginable, now simply friends engaged in the eternal dance of chess. And in that moment, in that room, the only thing that mattered was the game, the shared humanity, and the profound truth that kindness, once given freely, multiplies beyond measure. The game ended in a draw which somehow felt exactly